If you caught our last 2 episodes, you know obviously we're doing a coyote swap on the car, and we got a lot of work to do. So there was a couple things that were like kind of weighing on me. Was budget, how we're going to pay for all of this, and how's it all going to go down, how am I going to get all the parts together and all that. And over the weekend I was out doing some work in the garage, doing some shooting and stuff, and I get a call. And that call that basically just changed the entire course of the project, and now things are really starting to get rolling. What up, dude?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Not too much, man. Just out here fooling around in the garage.
So I watched your video about the coyote, so is that what you're working on right now?
Oh, shit. It's getting around, right?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm excited for you.
Hell yeah, dude. It's one of those things where it was kind of time, so I'm just like, I'm out here looking at this thing, trying to figure out, a game plan as far as how I want to go with it and all that good stuff. You know how it is.
Yeah. So what you gonna do with your old setup?
What I've really been thinking about, I'm probably just going to sell the whole thing and just, try to help fund the build. And I've been pricing stuff out, and man, this is going to cost a fortune. So it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Probably going to have to sell it all, But,
Well, dude, I'm in the market. I got another car I'm building. This is my dad's car, which is my very first car, and we're getting ready for Mustang week, so we need a motor.
No shit, really?
Yeah. So you let me know when you get it yanked out, dude, and I'll be ready to buy it from you. All of it.
Oh, dude. That would be awesome, man. Because, I'm seriously sitting here, how long is it going to take to sell this? And what do I ask for it? And it's like, dude, if you
I got the details, but consider it sold, brother.
Hell yeah. Alright, brother. Well, look. Let me get some numbers together, and I'll shoot you over a parts list and see if we can't put a deal together.
Alright, sounds good, man. I appreciate it.
Cool, brother. Holla at you.
Alright, man. We'll see you.
Later. Anyway, just like that, somehow my buddy Cody over at Fox Bodies Only found out, what we had up our sleeve, and so he calls me, and long story short, the little 302 is sold. Cody is building his first notch that he had years ago with his dad, and they needed engine, transmission, all that. And basically, since I'm not reusing any of it, including the accessories, the transmission, all the brackets, the engine harness, all of that, it's like exactly what he needed. And as you can see, he didn't waste any time getting a hold of me, and basically now things are going to start to ramp up pretty quick, because he needs the engine, I need to buy my engine, my Coyote, and so it's like go time, like right freaking now. And that means I got to get to work. But it's kind of crazy how these things kind of pop off and kind of spiral out of control. So I don't know what other crazy stuff is going to happen, but basically the engine's sold. I've got to buy the engine, and I need to start getting prices on headers, control pack, K-member, cold air induction, basically everything that it's going to take for this. And what I'm going to do as I go along, I'm going to have a detailed list of parts that you need to complete this swap if you want to do this swap for yourself. Because, to be honest, there is a lot of parts that you got to have. And it's not as crazy and as over the top as you think, but just like with any car project, there are some things you're going to overlook. So the main thing is get your list together beforehand, do all your price researching, and have a good idea going in so you don't get blindsided, because I see on the internet every single day people are selling off their projects because they got a good deal on an engine, or they got a good deal on this or that, and didn't think about all the other costs, and now basically their project is sunk and they're not going to do it, and they're going to sell it on and lose money. And we're not going to do that because I'm going to have a Coyote in this car, period. All right, so basically what I'm going to start doing is with the obvious stuff, okay? What do you need to do to put a Coyote into a Fox body? The very first thing is you have to have a K-member. And K-member is what goes from rail to rail in the front and bolts the engine to it. The factory K-member, while it can be modified, people have done it, it's just not, it's not worth doing. Why? Because a K-member drops weight off the front of the car and gives you a lot more room to fool with putting headers on the car, when you're putting a starter on the car, and all that. So you need a K-member. That's number one, and then motor mounts. Okay, that will get the engine itself physically in the car. After that, like some of the more obvious stuff, obviously you're going to need headers. Okay, we're going to go with a long tube header, a 1 3/4 with a 3-inch collector. Not 100% decided on headers yet, but that's coming. The next thing is all the accessories. Now, I'm not doing a half-assed job on this build. It's going to have air conditioning. It's going to have power steering. Basically, all the comforts, you know, if you can call them comforts, that the car has now, I'm going to have those with the... every time I try to do a video, every time I get a text message. Anyway, to make the thing work, you got to have a front accessory drive. The guys at Power by the Hour, they do that. They have the entire setup basically to run the accessories on the front of the motor, and that's going to allow you to have your alternator, your air conditioning, your power steering, and all that. So that part of it is basically covered. That will get the engine in the car and capable of, you know, actually being operative, right? But anyway, I'm going to get to work on doing this, because if I don't get it done soon, it's not going to happen. And also got to figure out where we're going to do this, and I got to figure out a motor, because I still don't have a motor. But anyway, this is going to get interesting, and I better get to work. So keep it tuned right here. I promise you're going to love this.